Hey everybody, this is Susan Tapley, and I was coming live this afternoon to show you a project that I'm going to be doing in some of my Create and Take Chalk classes this month. This one is featuring a transfer called Summer is My Happy Place. If y'all are just coming in, if you would just let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, that would really help me to make sure that everything's in the right place for this video. So I'm just going to give it a second before I get started to see if we have anybody popping in. I know it's Saturday afternoon and it's beautiful out, but my husband decided to go golfing, and I thought this was a great time to come on and see if anybody wanted to learn a little bit more about chalking with Couture products. So what I'm going to be working on today is a Shadowbox by Couture. It's a 10 by 10 box with a glass front and a removable back so that you can fill it with different things and decorate it whenever you like to. So let's see. Okay, it's pretty strange that I'm not seeing anybody commenting or waving at me. But you know what? I'm just going to keep going. If you have any questions after, please just type it in the comments and I will absolutely be happy to answer your questions. So without further ado, what I'm using is a Couture transfer, and what makes this different from a stencil is that there's actually a silk screen in the design. So get it out of here anyway. Okay, so with a silk screen transfer, you can get a lot more details, and there's a lot less bleeding than you might have with a stencil. So to get started with one of these, I'm just going to peel off the transfer from its carrier sheet, just like this. So the front side of it is pretty smooth. If you are up closer, I'm going to put it a little closer to see if you can see the silk screen itself. But if not, trust me, it's there. So the back side is very, very sticky. When you use one of our transfers, you can use it many, many times. The company thinks, 8 to 10 uses, but we've gotten a lot more uses out of our transfers if you take really good care of them. So I'm going to show you also a little bit about how to do that. So normally before I take the transfer off of the carrier sheet, I like to turn it to the back side where it's not quite as shiny. One side's super shiny, and that's where you're going to reattach your transfer to. The other side is a little bit more dull, and that's the side where I usually write on. So I know, first of all, which transfer goes on which carrier sheet, but it also prevents me from attaching the transfer to the dull side, because if you stick it to the dull side of the transfer sheet, it's a little bit more difficult to take it off. So I'm just going to write Summer is my happy place. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to the side for now. Today we're using a brand new transfer, and this is the one I'm going to be using at some of the classes that I'm having locally this month. I'm going to take a towel and just lay it on top of my project so I can show you how to do something called fuzzing. When you first get a transfer, it's usually super, super sticky like this one is, and that can make it a little hard to remove it from the surface that you're doing your design on. So I'm just going to flop it sticky side down onto this towel and give it a good rub and then pull it off. And what that is doing is it's making very tiny little fibers stick to the transfer, and that helps it be a little bit less sticky. So I'm going to rub it down like 2 or 3 times usually. Sometimes you can tell they're just really, really sticky and it might need an extra little fuzzing. So I'm going to do this one 3 times. If you don't have a towel handy, you can use your jeans or your shirt, whatever you got handy that's made out of a fabric. So now the transfer is ready to be applied to your surface. So with this one, my plan is to do a little bit of decorating on the back side of the box. And I want to put a photograph. I have a photo of my daughter on the beach that I want to use on one corner of the design. And I would like the Summer is My Happy Place writing to be kind of towards the other side of this design. So I'm just going to put it on here nice and easy. The tricky part is always getting it straight, right? Okay, that looks pretty good. So after you've got it in place, you're just going to want to smooth it over with your hand. One of the tips that I usually recommend is that you don't really push down the corners too hard. That makes it a little easier to pull it up when you're ready to take the transfer off. I just found a little piece of sand beneath my transfer, so I'm pulling that off right now. And I can feel that there shouldn't be any bumps or lumps or air bubbles or folds in my transfer, so that means it's all ready to go. So I'm going to be using a white Chalkology Paste. This is a 3-ounce jar. And I haven't used it for a couple of weeks, so what I'm going to do is give it a really good stir with one of these little makeup applicators. I'm just going to check my screen here a little bit to see if I'm not seeing comments or, yeah, maybe nobody's watching. That's okay. You can watch it later, right? So I'm going to use this. This is a small makeup applicator that I bought on Amazon. You can also use a plastic knife or the handle of a plastic fork, anything like that, to stir it all up. So you want it to be about the consistency of melted marshmallow fluff. This is just a little thicker than I like to use it. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. Should have a little spritzer here. You can use a couple drops from your fingers if you don't have a spritzer or a little water bottle that you can spray with. But I do have some of these because I take them with me to my classes. So just a little bit really goes a long way in making this nice and smooth and creamy. All right. So you're going to see that I don't use very much paste on the design that we're going to be working on. A little bit goes a long way, and even if you feel like you've used more than you actually need, it's okay because you're going to scrape it off and put it right back into the jar, any excess that you have. So what I'm using today is called an angled squeegee, and this is one of my favorite squeegees to use. It covers a nice big area, but it does have points on it so that you can do some smaller areas if you want to do some details with color. It also is really good for scraping off the excess, which I'm going to show you how to do. So I'm just going to make sure that this is straight. It almost doesn't look like it. So I'm going to lift it one more time and try that again. Sometimes the transfers are an optical illusion, I guess. So bear with me. Let's see. I need to be taller for this job, huh? Let me start with this side. Okay, I like that there. All right, that looks pretty good. Rub that down one more time. Thanks for bearing with me. Hey Helen, how are you? Good to see you. I thought I was all alone today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little scoop of this white Chalkology Paste. I'm going to keep this this project super sweet and simple. So I've got a little bit more than I probably need, but all I'm going to do is smooth that paste over the design. I like to use long, smooth strokes and just make sure that all of the areas that are open where the silk screens are covered. If you happen to go outside the lines, it's okay. It's all right in my class if you go outside the lines because we can scrape off all of the excess. So as you can see right here, I'm just kind of doing a snowplow sort of motion with my squeegee and taking off all of the excess. So you can see I really didn't use very much, did I? That looks pretty good. So all of the excess went right back into the jar, and I'll stir that back up later and reconstitute it right back with all the rest of it. So now I'm going to remove the transfer, and hopefully I'll have some beautiful words. Here we go. What do you think? Oh, that came out perfect. Da-da-da! It's always a surprise when they come out beautiful. I don't know why, but it sure is. So the transfer right now is covered with Chalkology Paste, a little bit of extra. And what I'm going to do on the side is I'm going to put the transfer in a little pan of water that I already had ready for me. And I'm going to just kind of wipe the excess paste off with my fingers. The sooner that you get it in the water bath, the better. It comes off even easier, but it will come off. So I'm giving that a good little rub down with my fingers, and I'm going to just take it out of the pan and put it on a little drying sheet that I have here also. You want to put your transfer sticky side up to dry, And you will also want to, I didn't bring them with me, but take some disinfectant wipes, and just when you're done using it for the final time, just give it a quick wipe with a disinfectant wipe. All right, what do you think? Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much. It was easy, huh? I got a couple little spots of chalk on the edges here, but no big deal. All right, so here comes the part where I'm going to remove the back of the box. I want you to promise me, Helen, I'm going to hold you to this. Don't tell my husband how I do this because he'd be yelling. So I'm going to flip it over. And you really should take some kind of special tool and lift these little prongs off the back, but here's what I use. Don't tell my husband. So I'm just going to lift those off. Helen, I'm holding you to this. You're not going to tell, right? It's a girl thing, right? So I'm going to lift the back off, if I can. It's sticking on somewhere. Here we go. There we go. So I did put this front side down, and I can do that because there is an edge around here. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? So, okay, so I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to work on the background, and this is the fun part. This is a perfect project if you have memorabilia left from a summer vacation or a special occasion, a special birthday, anniversary. When you have those little odds and ends that you want to keep and share to look at every now and then. So the one that I'm working on is definitely a summer theme, and I wanted a beachy sort of look. So I got this piece of, it kind of looks like whitewashed boards that I'm going to use on the back side of the design. So I'm going to take my handy dandy repositionable tape runner from Creative Memories, and I know that you all don't have those kinds of things, so you can roll up a piece of tape or whatever you want, and that's just going to hold everything for your background in place. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. You can chalk this part of the piece, the shadow box, but I will warn you that it usually doesn't come off. The paste stays on there and leaves some ghosting. So if you want to be able to use it again and again, you might want to reconsider consider using something like scrapbook paper like I'm using here. So far so good? All right, now here's my little girl with the picture I have. I'm just going to place this on top to see how that's looking so far. What do you think? Yeah? All right, so tell me what you think. I have this thing that I picked up today, and I wasn't sure about using it, but I have, oh, thank you for the hearts. I have some of this netting, and I was thinking of putting it against the back part here, like this, with my daughter's picture on top. You like that idea? Yes? Okay, all right, I'll do it. I've never worked with netting before, so this could be an adventure. I'm not quite sure how to cut it, but I'm gonna try. All right, so I have some scissors. Let's see what we can do. It's really way too big for what I need. I'm just gonna cut kind of a triangle shape because that's the shape I'm going for here. Stuff's really stretchy. I was surprised. All right, one more cut. Yeah, that's sort of a triangle, right? Okay, so another scrapbooking tool that I have are sticky dots. These are kind of small, but we're going to see how it works, okay? So I'm just kind of going around here and putting some sticky dots on the edges, sticking it to the, ooh, that worked really well. I'm happy, happy, happy. Okay, here we go, a little bit more here. Just gonna go across the top with a few of those. Oops, where'd it go? They're invisible, so it's hard to see where they land sometimes. There we go. If you guys think of an easier way to do this, let me know, because I don't have any idea. Oops, open the camera with my head. Okay, a couple more. So you guys, have you ever used Couture products before? You saw how easy that was to put that design on, huh? You could have done it with, you know, different colors. If you were doing a woodsy kind of camping box, you could have used, you know, greens and blues and bring some more earth tones in. This is working better than I thought it was, you guys. Thought it would, I should say. I'll stick one more. Pop that down here. Oops, I think I missed it. Darn it. Okay, I got it. All right. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to trim a little bit so I can get it back in the frame. It's pretty good. All right, now I got to get that picture on there. Oh, I'm really loving this. Look at my girl in the box. Okay, I have some other things I'm going to put in there too, but I'm going to have to make you wait to see those. So I'm going to put some sticky dots behind my girl so she will stay in place. Put a couple of these on and say a little prayer that it all stays where I put it when I'm done. Should I go straight or should I go cockeyed? I'm going to go a little cockeyed. That's the way I roll. All right, that might look weird later, but we'll see. All right, so far so good. I'll give you one more peek and then we're gonna put some more stuff in there. Look at that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't really need to add anything more, but I'm going to. All right, so I'm gonna put this aside for now. Why am I stuck to the back? Oh, did you see that? I stuck it to the transfer. That was brilliant. All right. Hold on. Okay, put that to the side. I'm going to bring the box back. All right, this might get a little scary, girls. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to close this. Close up my paste, and I'm going to use that to kind of give that a little bit of an angle. And here we go. How about some beach sand? There we go. This is really, really fine sand. I hope it doesn't fall out. Okay. And how about some of these too? I'm going to tuck some shells in here. Hopefully that sand will adjust around it so we can see them. I suppose I could have just put shells in there. But how much fun is that? I'm just going to put some on the top so they all sort of just fall in when I close it up. Think I need more? A couple more? No, it's too big. I love these. They kind of remind me of eyes. Okay, girls, here goes nothing. So now I'm going to put the design back in on top of the backing. A little piece sticking out here. I better trim those off so they don't get stuck. Put it all together. So if you guys are local to me and you're watching this and you might like to come to a class to make your own shadow box, please let me know and we can make that happen. I'm going to fold down my little, what do you call those, prongs, I guess, and it should be done. Alrighty, should we turn it over? I don't know why I'm nervous about turning it over, but I'm going to do it. And you're going to see it before I do. Oh my goodness. All right. Need to adjust just a little bit. It's not quite natural looking, but can you see it? All right, maybe it's upside down because it looks upside down in the screen. So let me try it this way. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. You guys are gonna love this. I'm watching my screen as it turns around so you can see it the correct way. There we go. What do you think? Thumbs up? Well, again, if this is something you'd like to do yourself, it is so easy. You saw how easy it was for me to do that transfer. The transfer is called Summer is My Happy Place. It is available on my website, as well as the white Chalkology Paste and the Shadowbox. And you know what? I'm going to do a special offer for you guys that are watching today. If you decide that you'd like to order a Shadowbox from my from my website, susan.chalkcouture.com. If you order it this weekend, you know what? I'm going to send you Summer is My Happy Place. So you'll have that transfer and the paste, and you can fill that with whatever your heart desires. If you are interested in being on my VIP group to hear about my specials and some contests and things like that, please let me know. I'll add you right in there to my VIP group. It is in the my first comment up above. It's called Susan's Chalk Therapy VIP group. I have to thank my friend Silka for naming my group Chalk Therapy, because she said doing this is very relaxing and therapeutic, and she loved it. I am also loving growing a team with Chalk Couture. We are having a blast. I'm going out to Salt Lake City in about less than 2 weeks to meet with all the people from the home office and see all the new things that are coming for the fall and winter. So, you know, if this is something you might like to do, just message me and I'll get some information to you. You're under no obligation whatsoever. But I want to thank you for watching and encouraging me with this project. I love it. Thanks so much. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.